Just letting you know this is only my spoiler first impressions of the episode. Check my pinned comment for a free gift related to this video. And to watch my unfiltered reactions with exclusive bonuses, join my Ashamoji TV club. The link is in the description box below. Now, here's my afterthoughts of this episode of Fringe.
I have mixed feelings, people. I'm not sorry for those of you that are highly disappointed with my reaction. Yeah, it's when many of you said it was gonna, really bump up. Like it's only episode 13, and I'm like, what? If Olivia's pregnant now, and I can't remember the episode where they were making out, and I thought they were gonna have sex, and I was like, he better protect himself. Oh my gosh! And here it is. I don't know. Okay. As I said in my reaction, I want to trust the writing, and I want to also, of course, trust the actors. Anna Torv specifically. But I can't deny that I am disappointed that there wasn't much of unless it was very subtle, and it would have to take me rewatching, which is not going to happen anytime soon, because I'm just moving forward, okay? And the rewatching stuff will happen when I finish the whole series if I feel like it at some other point. So with that in mind, you are welcome to break it down, okay? You're welcome to break it down related to this episode, because what I'm disappointed with, number one, is I thought they were going to show the conflicting feelings that seems to have been there and shown in performance by Anna in the episode where Peter catches her and, she says that line to him about, it started out as a job kind of thing, right? So I get it that this, I even verbalized this too. I understand they're trying to show the contrast with this Olivia being someone who is naturally, as we see, naturally a chipper, optimistic like person, and she doesn't wear her emotions on her sleeve the way our Olivia is, but with all that considered, I thought little glimpses of it would show. And they do. I mean, enough for them to give her boyfriend the line of, what's wrong? You seem off. So it's there for him to pick up on. But I'm going to say it wasn't obvious enough for me to be satisfied with what I saw in this episode. Like, she's just going about her business honky-dory like it's nothing. And maybe that's just who this Olivia is. So break it down for me. Let me understand it, because that's so far my first impression. I'm being honest with you. I'm disappointed with not seeing more cracks in it. And perhaps it could have been the way she was directed. Every actor is going to make their choices, and she's a good actor. So the choice she's making, I'm trying to respect it on that level. But as a viewer, it was not to where I would want it to be. Like, I'm not expecting her to break down and cry, okay? That's not what I'm saying. Please do not misunderstand me. But I would have liked to have seen perhaps just a bit more nuance in her performance of showing a conflict of feeling. And as her boyfriend even said, or fiance, ex-fiance now, but as he kind of said, and perhaps that is the point, maybe that is the point. They used him as somewhat the instrument for me to kind of gauge what I'm trying to express to you, not as well as I would want to, but where he's like, you were about to marry me before you found out you were preggers, right? So she was still willing to go about things without any conscience of her actions anyway. And if he had it known, and I wonder, if he had it picked up on the timing and asked her honest, because I thought in that moment, since she's so used to lying and, I thought she was going to lie to him and kind of calculate in her mind a time frame from the last time they saw each other. And I saw for myself as a viewer when they had sex before he left, before she did the switch over, right? So I thought she may work around something and play it off, but that would have been a little too cliche, I think, maybe. Anyways, when it comes to her, I hope more will be shown now that the reality of her situation has hit home, and her supposed feelings I thought she had for Peter. I don't know. Now we have her Walter playing the guiding arm to his grandchild. And what a way to now possibly tie in Peter to come back. You're a daddy, you know? Don't let us come back there and give you a bill for child support. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the performance of Folivia in the aftermath of her situation wasn't to my expectations. So that's number one. Number two, I didn't enjoy the way they revealed it. Dramatically, yes. It's pretty much like how I was saying, like, you give me a bombshell for being pregnant, and then I'm still supposed to keep up with the fact this guy's getting a beetle being born out of his freaking neck at the same time. And then he's, dying and saying to spell his name right, and all I'm thinking to myself is, Olivia's pregnant, oh my god, OMG, and all that. And yeah, I guess that's the effect they want the viewer to have. I'm not used to that, I'll be honest. Perhaps that's why it's such a, what the F? Because I'm used to a big bombshell. I'm used to the standard bombshells that this show actually has shown, where it's at the end and it's dum-dum-dum, and it kind of fades out to black. But for me, it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. It was just too much stimulus. Okay. All right. What else? So I guess the fiance is out of the picture. Then they show him moved out. So I guess bye for the second time. Or as one of you put it in the comment section, bye Felicia again. All right. And now I know never to tell any secrets to Lincoln. That part of him literally telling Olivia, that was funny. That was funny and very surprising. But it was a great way to show what kind of person he is. I like character developments like that, where it's through their behavior and through their actions rather than some kind of, exposition of something else. I'm grappling with my Ashemojis in my mind right now. I'm teeter-tottering between a 3 and a 4, I'll be honest. I'll get to that in a second. Let me talk a bit more about other stuff. Let's talk about my picked scene. Sorry. When I get like this, flustered like this, because the episode's very overwhelming and there's a lot to contend with. Okay. So, aside from the big bombshell of Folivia being pregnant, now where that's gonna go for them to bait Peter back to their verse, possibly, likely, maybe, I don't know. You have to see. Okay, so aside from that big bombshell, which is the most obvious, I have to say that the scene with the cortexiphen-like trials, I guess that's the best way to put it, because they've tried to replicate the drug, and seeing the effect now on adults and seeing them come to that conclusion that they would need younger people. And then the whole issue of kids comes up and Walter Nate is like, no, he's not having it. And I've acknowledged out loud a particular person on YouTube who I think is also a club member, Incognito, who has repeatedly put out the point there that there's massive differences between both Walters, and one of the big differences is that one Walter was fine to cross those lines and experiment on kids. A lot of bad stuff in the past. And this Walter is not willing to cross those lines. He has a different moral compass. So this is one of those episodes that I think is the most obvious to highlight your comment that you've repeatedly put on my channel for me to get noted. Okay? So, great. Gotta fly. Go away, fly. No! I just watched an episode with bugs. I'm freaking flying the damn house now. Okay. Alright, so, that was good to note, and I like more of these fleshing out of the differences between the characters. A lot of differences between this Olivia that they're showing, although I have my gripes with the way it's performed for me, personally. It's fine, just respect it. It's a different opinion, and it is what it is. But all the other characters as well, too. Brandon, right, they're showing his difference as well. Charlie, and the only character there's not much comparison with is Lincoln. However, the Charlie in this verse is, to me, quite similar to the Charlie from our verse. Just in personality and his sense of humor. Maybe he's a little bit more lighthearted than our Charlie from our prime verse. I can't remember. But anyway, okay. Alright. Have I made my decision with my Ashamoji? Okay. It's a 3.5 emoji, which falls into the very good category, okay? I can't give it a great because at the moment, I'm just not satisfied with the things I've mentioned before. And also to the baddie, or I guess not baddie, the villain of the week, villain of the episode. His whole thing with the whole beetle and vaccination stuff, it wasn't as compelling as I would want it to be. So that in itself that kind of dings down things a little bit more for me. It lowers the rewatchability, more or less. Okay, so yeah, very good, I think is fair. So, there you have it. That is my reaction to episode 13 from the 3rd season of Fringe. Comment away, break things down, share your opinions, your thoughts about this episode specifically, tie it in nicely with previous episodes, and of course be mindful of not spoiling future episodes, but of course it's going to be up to my moderator to pick that out for me appropriately. But overall, I've been reassured that there's been very few spoiler comments to remove, so I'm trusting of the audience so far that I have watching my reactions. Thank you. Alright, so until my reaction to episode 14 coming up very soon, I'm tuning out, peacing out, goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out my other videos.